Howdy, partner. Welcome to one of the most northern parts of the United States of America. Travel with me upriver as we talk to a bunch of ladies and fellers and they share their tales of wit and wisdom. That's right, it's time again for Skagit Storytellers.
With Liz Duffy. I think you're the guest that's known me the longest.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, so, because we moved in, I think we were neighbors in 2017. Does that sound right? Spring of 2017?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you're one of my guests who I've known the longest, but I don't know a lot about you. I know that you worked at a chicken farm, that's what I call it. You have 3 awesome kids and an amazing wife. Besides that, I think Oregon is somehow tied in your story quite a bit. That's all I know. So where were you born?
Born in Albany, Oregon, 1977. Kind of grew up in Oregon. Me and Amy actually went to the same middle school.
So that's where you met?
Yeah, we met in middle school. She has a story about falling down in PE class, and me and my jerk friends laughed at her after she fell down, and she fell in the mud. She still tells it. Knew each other, were good friends, kind of saw each other a little bit in high school and went our separate ways, and then reconnected when we were both at Oregon State. And so...
what'd you take at Oregon State?
Graduated in business, finance. So.
What was the plan for that degree? Like, I'm going to get this degree and then do what?
At that point, I was still thinking I might maybe wanted to go to law school.
Oh.
And so I was studying for my LSATs. And while I was going to Oregon State, I didn't live in Corvallis. I was from Albany. So I just moved back to my hometown. So it was all my high school buddies and like we were all real close. And so I lived out in the country. And I had a 100-acre corn farm that I grew sweet corn for Norpac. My dad had some old corn contracts that he hadn't used. And so I took those over. So I would get up in the morning, go to the corn farm, do something, get in my pickup, drive to Oregon State, go to my business classes, go home, and just, farmed and went to school and graduated in finance, and then didn't quite know what I wanted to do after that. Bounced around kind of careers. I was in lending. I was a farmer's insurance agent at one point for a couple of years in Portland, Oregon. Worked for J.P. Morgan Chase as a licensed personal banker selling financial stuff that I absolutely hated.
Really?
Yeah. And it was around that time in my life that, the wheels kind of fell off.
Well, I was going to ask, what was Amy taking? Was she taking similar courses?
She graduated. She had a liberal arts degree.
Oh, okay.
Concentration in elementary ed.
Oh, okay.
So the idea was to get her master's and teach, which she still, could be in the...
Well, I'm glad she's in schools. I think that she would be a really great person to...
She's good with kids.
To be around the kids,
so,
yeah. I was going to ask if you mind talking about, you mentioned the wheels falling off?
Yeah, I think
that's part of your whole story.
Oh, yeah.
So, and yeah. Addie, she knows it?
She knows it. Okay. Yeah, she'll be some stuff that she probably maybe hasn't heard. But I was just, I had a problem with alcohol. I had a problem with drugs.
When you say drugs, like what?
It started with, smoking pot and painkillers and went to party drugs and whatnot. At some point, crossed paths with crystal meth and was taking painkillers. And I was having a lot of back problems at the time. I had my 3rd and 4th back surgery in my late 20s.
What was that from?
The bad back.
Okay.
I had my first back surgery when I was 15.
Really?
It ruined my football career. Wasn't able to play football after that.
Did you get injured while playing football?
It was kind of a genetic thing. It was spinal stenosis and narrowing of the vertebrae. So I herniated a couple of discs. That's why I don't have a calf muscle. The nerve damage was so bad from it that I lost my calf muscle in my
on one side?
On my left leg.
Oh, I haven't noticed.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. It's weird looking.
Is that what your opponents see right away?
No,
I'm going for that leg.
Yeah. Well, in jiu-jitsu it pays off because there's like certain moves that should hurt and they don't because of the nerve damage. So
there you go.
Yeah, but I would rather have a calf. But yeah, I spent my whole summer between my freshman and sophomore year of high school in a hospital bed recovering from a huge back surgery. I was in the hospital for 10 days. And so I'd always battled pain for 15 years of my life, I was just in and out of just bad back pain, sciatica, different back surgeries.
Well, I've heard of, adults who have back surgery or any kind of surgery and they get, addicted to painkillers, but you're a teenager. So at that point, like, who's in charge of your pain meds?
I didn't get addicted then. It was just,
okay.
Yeah, it was just, you just kind of start the process. And then when you're in your 20s, when you have surgery in your 20s and late 30s, your doctor back then, they would just, send you home with a huge script. And,
here you go.
Yeah. And I've got an addictive personality, and it was like, oh, I like to party too. And so it was like, oh, cool. And
this was after college.
Yeah.
Because you said you were still in your hometown.
Yeah.
So you're hanging out with all your buddies that you went to high school with, and
Yep. Yeah. And we just like a lot of high school buddies, we are all bad influences on each other.
Yeah.
and whatnot. And it just kind of kept escalating. I kind of, each job I'd get a job and work in it, but was extremely unhappy. I hated working in offices. It was just miserable just to go into work. And then, I was always up too late, not getting enough sleep, and just running myself down. And at one point, crystal meth entered the equation, and I was working in a bank at the time and kept it together for about a year. And then the wheels just came off.
Do you have to keep using more?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would use all the time.
But you kind of have to up your amounts because you just get used to it.
Yeah. I mean, you develop a tolerance. And,
that's it. Yeah.
And whatnot. And then I'm one of those drinkers that once I start drinking, I don't really know when to stop. I just kind of keep drinking.
Like you can't socially drink.
No.
Yeah.
The whole having a couple of beers after work is something I never mastered.
No, that's what Spencer's like too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad he figured that out as well.
It would just one or two would turn into 12 to 15 every night, and it made life just really, really hard. And as the wheels came off, the thing that got me sober is I'd lost everything. Me and Amy had lost our home.
You guys had bought a home?
No.
Okay.
We didn't have a house. We'd been kicked out of rentals. I lived out at my dad's farm, got kicked out of there. There was in and out of hotels at the end. And then I decided to, I didn't decide. The state of Oregon said, basically, you can either go to prison or get sober. And I almost didn't take them up on the deal. I'd actually left a treatment facility after getting checked in, and had to leave and go to jail for 10 days for leaving. And at some point in that transition where I left treatment, I went to a hotel to get some sleep because I hadn't slept in 5 days or something.
5 days?
Yeah, and I'd gone to treatment and kind of slept a little bit there, but I went and slept, got something to eat, and I still remember it was like the worst hotel in Albany. I mean, just horrible hotel.
Like a dirty Motel 6 type thing.
Yeah, dirtier than a Motel 6.
Oh.
And I woke up and saw myself in the mirror, and I couldn't even look at myself. And I just went, you know what? I'm never going to touch another drop of alcohol or do drugs ever again. And called the treatment place, and they said, "You're an idiot. You walked out of here. You're screwed. You're done. Call back tomorrow." I kept doing that, and then they sent me to jail for 10 days. I got out, and they took me from jail back to the treatment center, and I was literally a different person.
Really?
I remember eating breakfast the second morning I was there and talking to somebody, and was like, "Yeah, me and you were roommates like 10 days ago." He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "We were roommates." And it's like, "Remember, that was you?"
Oh, wow.
It was like the cloud.
Because in jail you had detoxed.
I'd slept, and my mind had started clearing. When you'd gotten to the point that I'd gotten to, I was always very confident in my mental abilities. Like I was, I'm smarter than everything. I can overcome it because I'm, got this intellect or whatever, and I've got a lot of drive, and I can overcome these things. Didn't realize how much damage I'd done to myself and how far I'd fallen down. But it comes back. It takes years to come back for your brain to heal itself. But it was total epiphany that in that hotel, and it was just the most clearest decision I'd ever seen in my life. My drug dealer still had my car while I was in treatment, and had to get my car back from him. And
You're like, I don't really want to see you again, but I kind of have to because I need my car.
Yeah, I need my Audi back. And so, at that point in the recovery process, I did it just like I kind of go after everything. I mean, I was doing 2 AA meetings a day. I was going to IOP. I had sponsors. Really got a lot from AA at that point in my life. And just kind of threw myself at that, but I didn't know what I wanted to do for my life after that. I was starting to look for jobs, and
were you and Amy married at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd been married. We had Isaac.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And Amy went to, and I guess I'm speaking a little bit, but she'd gone to treatment at the women's side of the treatment facility, so we'd gotten sober.
Oh, the same time that you did.
Yeah, in the same group of.
She didn't leave at when you left. She didn't leave. She stayed.
She had gone in a month before me.
Oh, okay.
So we were separated for a month. I didn't get to see her for like 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
So I still remember the first time I had to go over to her treatment facility to see a doctor, and they were like hardcore. This place was a hardcore treatment facility, and they're like, if you see your wife, you can't have any contact with her. And I hadn't seen her in a couple of months. I see her, I'm like. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Could you like call her or write her a letter?
No, towards the end I was able to.
Okay.
But wasn't able to.
Because it was on the same grounds.
No, it was on different sides of Eugene, Oregon.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh,
My treatment facility was in a Walmart parking lot.
It was?
Yeah, at an old dental office. So it was like going to treatment in a submarine.
Well, was hers a lot nicer?
Yeah, hers was great. It was like this huge palatial spread grounds, like lawns.
It was a spa.
Yeah, it was way different than the men's side.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people, they say like when they have kids, it really like wakes them up.
Yeah.
But how did that feel for you when you guys had Isaac?
Well, Isaac was around when we were first. He was, we had started right after he was born, and so he was around that. He doesn't remember any of that.
Maybe you were like, we can do this.
Yeah,
we can do both things. Like, look at us, we're doing it until you can't.
It was Addie that forced our hand into, hey, we gotta. So
was she pregnant in the? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
And so
did she deliver there?
No,
okay.
But that's why she was born in Eugene.
Okay.
So after Amy had gotten out for a couple of months, Addie showed up. So.
Aw.
So I got to be there for that.
Oh, good.
We were both out by then, but I had to live in a sober living place, and then Amy lived at the apartments. There was some apartments that the treatment facility had for the women who got out.
Okay.
Like a transitionary housing place.
Yeah.
So we were in different places.
So for like how long were you apart, basically? 6 months?
A little more than that, probably.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, probably 7 or 8. It was probably 9 months before we actually got to live together. So towards the end, I was able to see her. I'd go over, but I'd have to go home and go to my place at night, ride my bike back.
So would you say it was like a 3-year period of like kind of chaos with using and I've met both your guys' parents. They seem amazing. Your mom, or is it Charm? That's Amy's mom?
Yes.
Oh, she's so sweet. Get over here, and she just like gives me a hug every time.
She's everybody's
How's
best friend.
Olive? And she remembers everyone's names and like, oh my God, she's so sweet. But I was just thinking, because you guys are. I mean, nobody would ever know that you had any issues in the past.
No,
the way your life is right now.
Yeah, people. When I tell that to people that know me now, they're like, "What?
Yeah,
no way."
And so obviously, like your parents were like, "Woo, we'll come visit and hang out with the kids." But at the time,
I didn't see or talk to my parents at a certain point towards the end for like a year and a half, 2 years.
During that part,
I was It got really bad at the end because they would, when parents try to help, they sometimes help, and then finally, and God bless them, they probably gave me way more, shots than I needed. They had to just, cut it off.
Oh yeah, because you said you lived with them for a bit, and then
I was out at my dad's farm,
okay,
which was out in the country, which came with a lot of motorcycles and side-by-sides and ATVs and no neighbors.
Yeah, you can do whatever
lots
you
of
want.
Firearms and stuff. So
Right.
and that just didn't end well.
Yeah.
So,
So both parents, I mean, how were Amy's parents? Like, were they in the same boat as yours? Where like they tried to help, and they're like, you know what?
Yeah, we lived with them for a while too,
Okay.
and then that was very difficult. You know, they just we had to have some real consequences before, you know, things were going to change. And so as we started getting consequences and everything, but they were a lot more easygoing about it, or just a little softer about it. My parents just were like, you know, done.
Yeah.
And which is understandable.
And so it probably took, you know, a few months out of your, you know, recovery for them to go, okay, this looks real.
Yeah.
It looks like you're going to do this.
Yeah, for sure. And then I didn't know what I was going to do. And so I was just doing meetings and everything. And I was going to take a job in a call center, some horrible job, like debt collection calls.
But you got two kids, you know, you got to. Yeah.
And Amy was, you know, said, you know, you were always happy when you were farming, because I grew up farming. My dad had a farm. He was an ER doctor, but on the side he had a 500-acre row crop farm.
On the side?
Yeah. He's
on the side, this giant.
Oh, just on the side.
I wonder where you get your energy from, Paul.
Bad decision making.
He's addicted to farming.
Yeah, no, he worked his nights in the ER and farmed during the day.
Wow.
And yeah, he was just a machine. and so I grew up around farm work, and that's what I kind of fell back on when I was like, you know, I don't really want to go back to the financial services world, because it's just, when you get in it, it's just yucky. It was just yucky to me. I didn't like, everything was just kind of pushy sales, and I just didn't like that. And so I took a job on a seasonal baling crew, driving a tractor, like 100-hour work weeks, and just stacked up a bunch of money. And those guys that I worked for are now my business partners in my current business. And so that turned into, after that baling season, They called me in the office and were like, we're not going to send you to Iowa for corn stover baling. We have these chicken barns up in Washington. We want you to go. We're going to try something. We just need somebody that, you know, we can trust to go up there and give us a good read on whether or not there's a business there. So I got in a work truck, went and checked in at a hotel in Centralia, and walked into a chicken barn for the first time. And they said all this chicken poop in the bedding on the floors needs to get in those semi trucks over there. And I went, okay. And we just started. And
so you just drive a tractor through the...
We use like skid steers.
Oh, okay.
With buckets. And then we'd have another like loader that has a long arm and a telehandler that would scoop it and put it in a like a big semi truck. So the semi trucks can haul about 30 tons.
Wow.
And so we just started doing that for Draper Valley, and you know, picked up a farm here and a farm there. We ran out of work down in Centralia, so we moved up. You know, I got a hotel in Mount Vernon and started, you know, got a foot in the door at Draper Valley Farms up here, and we've been doing it ever since. So.
And that's how you guys found a place in Woolley?
Yeah. That's what brought us up here. Was Draper Valley was headquartered up here. And
were you specifically looking for a place with acreage? Were you like, that's a necessity?
We got our first place. We just got in. We didn't have anything, and we found a little crummy apartment by the Mount Vernon Hospital.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And moved in there for 6 months, and then we got another place a couple of blocks from there that we were there for 2 years. And then our company needed a shop, and so we were looking to rent shop space. And one of my business partners was like, "Why don't you buy a house that has a shop, and we'll just lease the shop from you?" I said, "Okay." And the place in Woolley popped up, and we were able to buy it and moved in there, and that's what got us in there. So,
and what year did you guys move there? I think it was right before us.
We've been there for 8 years, 16.
Oh, so yeah, you were there right before us. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm like 15 or 16.
So Johnny was 4?
Johnny was 1.
He was 1?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because the week before we moved out of our other house was his first birthday, and that was in February. So he had just turned 1.
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, when you said you lived in an apartment, I thought, oh my gosh, you lived in an apartment with 3 kids.
Yeah.
Oh no, Johnny wasn't there yet.
Yeah. Well, no, we had
in the apartment.
No, the apartment was it wasn't really an apartment. It was more like a
townhouse.
Yeah, not like a 1-story. It had a backyard and stuff like that.
Oh,
It
okay.
shared a wall, like a duplex type deal.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Had that. And then the next place was like an actual cool little house, but it was like 800 square feet. And so when we moved into our current house, we moved everything in like half of a U-Haul, unloaded it in like an hour into our house, and we look like we're squatting. We have like air mattresses.
I remember we moved into the farm and thinking, like, this amazing, gorgeous house. It was our second house, and I just couldn't believe that it was ours. And just thinking, are some adults going to show up and like kick me out? It just felt so wrong. I can't, like, you guys must have felt that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
How is this my life?
Yeah. It was mind blowing. We just sit around and, like, oh, I got a yard to mow. It's my yard.
I will say that Spencer, when he's like, I got to mow the lawn, I go, oh, you do? And then he's back 10 minutes later. I'm like, you're done mowing the lawn already?
Yep. It's town life.
Yes. He really, really, I loved how much he mowed the lawn on Minkler, but like, it's amazing how much quicker it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He weed whacks. He focuses on little spots. And I didn't know this was a thing, but like, cause I think CJ just didn't have that gene, but man, Spencer hears a guy mowing down the street. It like starts this internal clock in him, and he has to mow his lawn within a day.
So the people that live across from us, that was the Hawkins Trucking.
Oh yeah,
Carl moved in there, and he mows his lawn a lot. So I'm constantly, and it's like, and I've become friends with him, and we just talk across Minkler. We put up on our riding lawnmowers and like turn them off, like catch up and.
Is there like a hormone that you just start like
it's
pure, like when a baby cries, like a woman feels like kind of flustered?
Yeah, it's the same. A lawnmower engine's like a crying baby. You can hear it across stores, and so.
And so I guess at some point you'd have to hire some more help because you guys are busy.
Yeah.
So kind of what made you start thinking about like, oh, I want to give this guy a chance?
So my crew up here is like 4 guys and a manager and me, and then I have another crew down in Chehalis that's 2 guys that do the on the ground work. But the first person I ever interviewed was Tim. You remember Tim?
Oh yeah.
And we were sitting at Jack in the Box.
Isn't your brother's name Tim too?
John.
Oh, John. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like Tim just feels like your brother because I always see him.
Yeah.
I would always see him.
Tim's like a brother.
One of the first things you said to me too, you're like, if you hear gunshots, that's just Tim. I'm like, okay.
You hear a lot of shooting in the shop. So. But I interviewed him at Jack in the Box, and we were kind of going through. I was like, okay, I'm going to hire him, and I could tell he was kind of sheepishly like, well, I kind of have this thing that I have to do every Wednesday. And I was like, oh, do you have a little wreckage in your life, Tim? And he's like, yeah, I have to do drug court. And I said, hey, guess what? I've at that point, I had like 1.5 years or 2 years sober. I'm like, I've got 2 years sober, dude. And so we talked recovery, and then
that's awesome.
Ended up, the first like 4 or 5 guys that we hired were all out of drug court or at the Oxford houses. There was an Oxford house in Mount Vernon. I would pull up, and like 3 guys would come out of the Oxford house and get in my truck, and we'd go to the farms and work. And I've had some, Tim's a success story. He still works for me. He's got a 20-acre cattle ranch out in Clear Lake.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. Happily married and got a great setup out there. And then my other guy, Jordan, that moved up, he ran my southern farm, but he ended up moving to North Dakota, and works for a John Deere dealership out there. Got a couple other guys on the crew that we've, got up. I just had a guy that was in drug court, and he'd worked for me for like 1.5 years, 2 years, but I can only pay people so much. And he was a welder, which means he can make pretty good money.
Yeah.
And so at a certain point, we got him a job at the feed mill. And handed him off to the feed mill, and saying, spread your wings and fly. So
what do you do at drug court?
It's like
you just have to check in.
Yeah,
and they test you.
It's different. Yeah, there's they give you a lot of resources and stuff, but yeah, you have to check in. They keep everybody accountable. You have to pass a lot of stuff, but it's basically, from what I understand, because I don't know that much about it. I just know that they were in drug court, but they usually have some sort of jail hanging over them. And if they screw up, they go to jail.
Yeah.
But if they keep, on the straight and narrow and, do everything and don't get in trouble, it's a way for them to not go to jail.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah. Huh.
And there has to be, kind of drugs at the middle of their story, that's led to them being in trouble. So
Have you hired guys that have had trouble in their life and it didn't work out?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Is that most often?
That happens a lot. My home office down in Albany sometimes gets tired of processing our new employee applications because it's really dirty work, and so guys will show up, or and it's hard work, and we kind of expect a lot from them, and sometimes it doesn't work out. So
yeah. You mentioned before that you had an addictive personality. I'm hopefully, well, I don't know. I might go back to ultra running one day. I'm not sure, but I was an ultra runner for quite a while, and that's definitely something that I noticed. Like at first I'm like, oh, I'm sober. I'm just going to go run 8 hours on a Saturday for no reason. So I quickly learned that a lot of ultra runners are former addicts. And so we're really just placing our addiction into something else. Like you think, oh, well, but ultra running is so healthy. Is it healthy to abandon your family for 8 hours on a Saturday? And then when you get home, you're so tired, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's healthy.
No, you can kind of, chart what I've done since I got sober. And it was like I threw myself at recovery.
Because you're sober 9 years now?
13.
Oh, 13. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. So I threw myself at recovery.
Yeah.
Didn't want to do anything but meetings. And then I started working, and then all I wanted to do was grow my business. And I worked 6-7 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day. And then kind of got to a point where I was like, oh, my body was starting to fall apart. I was overweight, eating. I lived on fast food on the road.
I think I remember when you started to eat better. That was like, a few years into us knowing each other.
And it was like something, just clicked or whatever. And it's like, oh, I need to. And so it went. So I took that. I cut out carbs and sugar for a couple of months, lost all the weight, and then started working out. It was like, oh, cool, this is fun. And of course, I have to obsessively work out now, And then the next phase of that, where working out wasn't quite enough, it turned into jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and MMA, along with the working out.
Did you mainly just join the club just to like get another workout in?
No.
Or were you like, oh, I actually kind of want to learn this?
I was in pretty good shape, lifting shape. And the kids had been doing jiu-jitsu for about a year and a half. And I did
Oh, they started before you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they'd done it for a year, and I went in for a free family kickboxing class.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, first one's free, and did a kickboxing class and was like, wow, that's kind of cool. And I just head first into it. Like 2 months later, I think I was in my first jiu-jitsu tournament. So I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Just kind of had a knack for wrestling. So,
yeah. So I guess how many matches have you had?
So it started out with jiu-jitsu, and I think I've had probably 6 tournaments. And so, 2 or 3 matches a tournament. I've gotten, I've won a couple, I've gotten second in a couple. Sometimes there's not very many people. And so when you get second, you're also last. So your silver's a last place medal.
It's all about the age group that you're in.
Yeah. But I'd been, Coach Matt at Livewire, he had, kind of brought me along, kind of like, oh, hey, do this. And he's like, well, we should probably get you in a tournament. And I'm like, huh? Okay. And so we did a tournament, and he's like, well, let's do it. And so kind of did more tournaments and kind of got real comfortable with jiu-jitsu, and I wasn't doing the kickboxing. And his real passion is MMA, because, jiu-jitsu's fun, and it's hard on your body and all that stuff. But I could tell he wanted me to kind of try MMA. And so I started doing some more kickboxing classes, and then I did my first sparring class where you're not just practicing, you're actually squaring up against somebody, and you're not going 100%, but you get punched in the face or punch guys or kick them. And
when I think about the two sports, jiu-jitsu and MMA fighting, I just think, is blood the difference? I just picture jiu-jitsu like no one's bleeding.
No, yeah, jiu-jitsu is just like...
It's like judo, wrestling type thing.
Yeah, submission grappling.
Yeah, but MMA is like...
MMA, you can
a mix of everything.
Yeah. You can punch and kick, but being good on the ground is very good because you can take somebody to the ground and you can submit them through a choke or an arm bar or leg bar, something like that. He got me my first fight 6 months ago.
And Matt's the owner of the gym?
Yes.
Yeah,
Matt Coble.
Yeah, you were telling me I should have him on too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a riot. He's
Addie agrees.
Addie is nodding her head. So, but yeah, he's had 20-something professional fights and a lot of amateur fights, and he was listing them all off the other day. Boxing and Muay Thai and.
But what you do is amateur? Is that what it's called?
I'm amateur.
Okay.
I'm an amateur MMA fighter right now.
At what point, could you go professional?
Oh yeah.
Is it just cost money, or what does it have to do?
And I limited knowledge on this, but once you go pro, you can't go back to amateur. You usually have longer rounds, and then you can get compensated for the fight.
Oh.
So
yeah,
you can get paid for the fight. So
the one thing that I thought was, I guess I don't know if it's funny, but you had a fight. I want to say it was down in Muckleshoot,
Muckleshoot.
I think it was a couple months ago, and I saw so many cool pictures of Amy was posting of the family at the hotel, and your other family came up to watch, and everyone's super pumped, and it was over in 18 seconds.
The first one in Shelton was done in 18 seconds, and then the one at Muckleshoot was 17 seconds. So, my first one went 2.5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And that was in Eddie Grant's gym in Everett. And it was in his basement under a VFW. Just an awesome place for a fight. I mean, it's set up with a cage and the lights and everything like that, and it's hot, and the crowd's just right on, and it's really
like Fight
loud.
Club.
It is a lot like Fight Club.
And is that a normal range? What's a normal time frame for a fight?
I mean, that's on the shorter end.
Okay.
They usually go. I mean, they're scheduled for 3 rounds, 3-minute rounds.
Okay. Okay.
And the pro fights can be 3 5-minute rounds, or sometimes 5-minute rounds.
You taking off?
Okay.
Oh, cool. Yeah, go hang out. But if you get knocked out, you're knocked out and the fight's over.
Yes.
You don't wait to see if they're going to come around for the second round?
No, it's not like in boxing. If somebody gets knocked down, they can, there's a count where you can get back up or whatever.
Okay.
In MMA, if you've got them down and they're defenseless, they'll stop it because you can once the guy goes on the ground, you can keep attacking them. And if they're not defending himself, that's where the ref will stop it. And that's a TKO, a technical knockout. So,
yeah.
And that's...
Once you knocked the guys out, was it tempting to just keep hitting them? Because you're like, I just got here.
Well, the first guy that I hit, he went backwards, and I could tell that I hit him square, and he just went over flat backwards, and I was like, shoot. I was like, ugh. I wasn't going to jump and hit him or whatever. But a lot of times that's what you're supposed to do.
Oh, okay.
You're supposed to go until the ref stops you. On the second or my third fight, I hit him and he went down, but he was still kind of defending himself. So yeah, I continued to go after him and hit him on the ground, and the ref will jump in and stop it.
Yeah.
So.
Have you been knocked out?
No.
Okay. Have you been knocked out in a practice?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been knocked out, but I've been cracked pretty hard, enough where your eyes, you can't see straight for a while, and it's an experience. It's like you dread it, and then you dread getting punched, and then you get punched, and you're like, well, that's not so bad. So.
I just watched Fight Club recently. It sounds exactly like Fight Club.
Yeah, in our family, we still that's what we call going to Fight Club.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Johnny's on his way to Fight Club right now. He probably
I didn't know Johnny did it too.
Yeah, Johnny.
Oh,
Johnny
cool.
actually had a cage match.
What?
Kickboxing when he was like 6. Matt got him a fight down in Everett, and they put him in all these pads, and the video is just hilarious because these kids go out there and they're not allowed to hit in the face.
And they're wearing a ton of pads.
Yeah.
Like hockey goalie
Yes,
pads.
exactly.
Oh my God.
Chest protectors and the leg things, and these kids are just wailing on each other. And I've got this cute little picture of Johnny afterwards where his coach is taking the stuff off, and he's sitting there and his head's all sweaty and he's drinking a little cup of water, just smiling after his little 3-round, 1-minute round bout in front of a bunch of people in a rowdy, some club in Everett, that had like an open bar.
Well, it's funny because like you don't know like what's sort of happening in your area unless you're like into that thing.
Yeah.
Like I had some guy, he was here for, he's acting in this movie, but he started a wrestling company in Spokane, and we were talking about wrestling. I'm like, well, but like, there's no wrestling around here, right? He's like, are you kidding me?
Sedro-Woolley has got the high school wrestling team.
Oh, yeah, the Cubs.
Steel Claw.
Right.
And so that's where, like, when somebody's, like, matching a fight up and they hear Livewire, it's from Sedro-Woolley, they're like, watch out, those guys will get you, take you to the mat, because they're all wrestlers, because there's a bunch of wrestlers around here.
Oh.
And they've got a reputation in the Northwest for this is one of the better wrestling towns.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so how long has Addie been doing it? Well, I guess we'll have to talk for her.
Yeah,
she's gone.
3 years or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she just joined it, like you guys put the kids in just to get exercise.
We were, it was Halloween, and we were doing trick-or-treating downtown, and we went by the gym, and Matt and now a bunch of the guys that we know are handing out candy there, and Amy was like, hey, I want one of your schedules. And we got one of the schedules, and I think we came back in on Tuesday and started.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I would think it's predominantly boy heavy.
No,
No,
there's quite a few, especially
okay.
in the kids class. In the adult classes, there's a lot more guys than girls, but there's a lot of girls that do the kickboxing because it's such a great workout. The
I can
class.
imagine.
Amy loves the kickboxing side of it. I've got her to do a couple of jiu-jitsu classes, and it's awesome. But in the kids class, there's a lot of girls that do it. And so
has Addie had any fights?
She did a kickboxing one the same day that Johnny did his fight.
Okay.
But who she was going against backed out, so she ended up going against her friend that she'd gone against like every day for months or whatever.
Oh, no.
So it was a little anticlimactic, but it was like a last second thing, so she could do it. But she's done Johnny and her have done a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Oh wow.
And the kids where it's tough sometimes, the divisions and the rankings. There's like Johnny's first jiu-jitsu tournament down in Tacoma. He was 6, and the last person he grappled was 11.
Wow.
And like had been doing it for a couple of years. And it was like, kind of one-sided. But
I remember when Olive did her half marathon, I think she technically came in like 4th in her category because the category was 0 to 14. I was like, she's 9.
Yeah.
Come on. There was like 3 14-year-olds that were doing it, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then I don't think I've talked to Isaac in quite a few months. Has he found his thing yet?
He does kickboxing.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He begrudgingly goes down because it's like, hey, you gotta do something.
Yeah.
And so when they were younger, when all 3 of them would do the kids classes, but Isaac kind of aged out of that. And so he was kind of in between for a while, but now that he's old enough, I just drag him to the adult kickboxing class. So,
yeah. Nice. And then, so is he starting high school next year?
Yep, freshman.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
And then Addie's starting the middle school.
Yep.
Whew.
Johnny at Mary Purcell.
Right.
And little KK at her daycare. So we'll
KK.
have little KK.
Her hair is so adorable right now. The little poof she's got going on.
And she loves it. She was getting, Johnny was combing her hair this morning, and then Addie had to get in, and she had to have the curls just right on the back or whatever.
She's getting the mirror.
Yeah.
Looking back there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I definitely want to have Matt in here and to talk about Livewire. Because I love the idea of, people kind of coming back from, being behind. Does Matt also have a story like that? Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Matt's got a lot of stories. I can't say enough good stuff about Matt. He's really good with the kids. He's good with the adults. And in this little, Cedro's not a big town or whatever, But we go to these tournaments, and this little town represents, and at these fights or whatever, the card that I fought on, I think there was 5 Livewire guys on the card.
Oh wow!
At Muckleshoot, which is a huge casino. It's a big fight.
Yeah. So like, how many people were fighting overall?
There was 10 or 11 fights on the card. So there was a Livewire.
Oh, and 5 from Sedro?
Yeah, 5 were from Livewire.
Yeah. Huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, with all of my guests, like my friend Shannon just put out an album, and I'm like, cool. When's your next one coming out? Or someone will just finish a book. I'm like, yeah. When's the next one coming out? So I guess my question for you, like you were saying that if you go professional, you can't go back. So do you think that's something you would do?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
I feel like the older you get too, like, what if you hit professional and like there's no one else?
No,
like,
there's always
a few.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I was supposed to be fighting on the 26th in Everett. They'd made the fight poster. Turned out the guy dropped out. I found that out last week, and it was it was a little bit of a letdown, but I kind of got a lot of stuff going on, and so I told Matt, like, hey, don't worry about finding anybody else. It takes a lot of bandwidth getting ready. The mental.
Not just going to your practices.
Not just the thinking about it.
Yeah.
The intensity of getting ready to go fight somebody. It is.
Do you do lots of research on them?
No.
Okay.
It's all the fighters will talk about the walkout and it's the lead up to the fight. It's like finding out, like, you get to school at the first of the month and somebody's like, hey, you're gonna fight this kid after class on Friday at the end of the month.
So you have to think about it.
So you think about it for a whole month, and that's like all you're thinking, and you'll be driving, and you'll be like, okay, I wonder what the guy's going to do. Is he going to go out and do this? And what if I do that? And then the next thing you know, your fingers are tingling, and you got a stomach ache.
That's why I would think you would find who the guy was. And I mean, I guess you don't have lots of footage or anything.
No, most of them are on YouTube. You can always find or whatever. But researching the guy doesn't really help the anxiety.
Oh, it doesn't?
No.
Might make it worse.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to die.
Yeah, or, because the visualizing of it. And it's a great motivator for working out. If cardio is really draining, you're like, do I really want to run out of gas at the end of a fight? No, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if you do go pro, I'd love to hear about that. That's crazy. It would be really cool too to have compensation at the end.
Yeah, that, and I'm trying to. I don't know if I have what it takes, or if I'm willing to put myself out there for that. I'm enjoying the amateur stuff now. I don't know when the next fight will be, but I imagine it'll be kind of at the end of summer, September.
Yeah. And does Livewire post their fights somewhere, on social media? Or?
They'll post the posters. They post them on social media, on Instagram.
And the fights that you're mentioning are Muckleshoot and a lot down south. Is there anything up here that?
There's been there's been a couple fights at the casinos up here, but recently our big fights have been kind of going to at Muckleshoot. So
I was thinking, why doesn't Matt rent someplace and do a fight here? I mean, if there's so many people,
there's guys that's what they do.
Yeah.
We kind of go through a promoter in a we do Excite Fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's who we do a lot with. One of our pros, Andy Waters, he just picked up a big fight for him on August 15th in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I might be saying that wrong.
Yeah.
And I can't off the top of my head say exactly who it's from, but it'll be on UFC Fight Pass.
Oh, wow.
So you can. Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and he works really hard. He's really good. So
I am so glad that you have, you were saying, you used to be on the road all the time. And now you're not. And so that's great, because I think that probably allowed Amy to get that job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She wouldn't have had the bandwidth for that.
No.
I love that you guys have little KK as well. She's such a perfect fit for your family.
She fits in like a greasy little peg. It's been one of the most rewarding rewarding thing. And the adoption's almost done.
Oh, wow.
We're coming down the home stretch. So, and it's weird because you don't know exactly what you can, because we're the adoption's not done yet. So it's like, ugh. Yeah, we just want it to get done and be finalized. But it's been one of the most rewarding experiences, taking her.
Well, and just every picture of the kids holding her, it's like, oh, especially Johnny for some reason, just like Johnny's not the little one anymore.
No. And Isaac is really, really good with her.
Oh.
We call her his emotional support baby. Because he's so good with her, and they kind of get along. And when I pick her up at daycare, we're walking off, and she'll start saying, Ayek, because she wants to see Isaac.
Oh, my gosh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully, do you think your gym members will listen to this?
Yeah, I'll put it out there. So.
And, I guess we'll let people know when your next fight is. And, you could do you have, like, sponsorship? Don't like fighters have sponsorship?
They do, yeah. That's a big thing or whatever.
There you go. I'll get you a little Skagit Storytellers patch.
Well, yeah, I do have a pair of shorts that Matt got me that have kind of a cool story behind it. But he put a Livewire patch on my fight shorts or whatever.
Oh, he did?
And so I've got another leg open. We could do a Skagit Storyteller.
I was going to say, I don't have patches. I'll just write with Sharpies. Write down your episode number.
Yeah, do it on the back.
Well, thanks for coming over, Paul.
Absolutely. Thank you, Liz.